This video is going to walk you through increasing client services within the schedule. So when we get a request to increase service, we want to go to the schedule icon that is at the top ribbon within the client profile. Once you're inside the schedule, you want to have a look at the existing services that are there and determine what type of an increase you need to make. So if we are increasing the duration, then it's going to typically be an edit to the existing visits that are there. If we are increasing the number of visits, then we would typically leave the pattern that's there and add in what's missing. So for the first example, I'll show you how to increase the duration of a visit by editing the visits that are currently in existence. So you want to go to the visit where you want to start the change. So because we're past the date of the 3rd, we want to start this change as of the 10th because it's the next visit in the pattern. So we're going to change the visit from a half an hour to an hour. So if I change the finish time to be 12 o'clock, it automatically knows that my duration is going to be an hour. You can, of course, take the time now to adjust this to whatever time works for the client, but making that change to the time then obviously updates the duration. Once you're inside the visit, it's a good chance to look at the order that you're scheduling the visit for, make sure that it's correct, as well as the bill code, just to make sure that there are no rejected billings, everything is as it should be. And the other thing that you can do prior to saving is add any additional comments in the comments box. This will reflect on the device for the field staff and give them any extra information that does not belong elsewhere in the system. Once you click on OK, it's going to ask you if you want to save the changes. We're going to say yes, and because we're changing an existing pattern, this one being weekly, it's going to give us the option as to whether we want to change that visit on a one-time basis or modify all visits in that pattern. So if we're doing an ongoing increase, we want to choose modify all following visits and click OK. Once we do that, we're presented with the conflict checking window, which is going to tell us if there are any issues with the visit based on the changes that we've made. And there is another video that's going to walk you through how to use the conflict checker and understand the information that's on it. But for this video, we are just looking at the action column, seeing that it's going to book the visit. It's acknowledging that it's sending it to the planner because it currently does not have a staff attached to it. So it's going to create those visits for us, and we say OK. And then you can see ongoing that that visit is changed to an hour. The other form of increasing visits or increasing services is to add additional visits to the schedule. So currently this example shows the client is receiving visits weekly, and we're going to do an increase to twice a week. So in that case, you want to choose the other day of the week that services are being received. Because it's already on Tuesdays, I'm going to space it out to be a regular visit on Friday. Make sure that we are choosing the correct order and that our bill code is aligned properly with that order. And I'm going to make the time the same as the Tuesday visit. And that automatically knows then that it's going to be a half an hour once I put those times in. Again, if I wanted to add any additional comments that are going to display on the device, I can enter that here. But typically it's just any extra information that is specific to the visit that doesn't have a home elsewhere in the system. So it could be that the client has an appointment, so we would like them to call ahead just to make sure, touch base, any details specific to that visit. And I click on OK. Yes, I want to save the changes. Again, it's going to take me to the conflict checking window, and I'm going to click on OK because it's acknowledging that it's booking the visit. These conflicts that are listed here, again, there is a conflict checking video as well, But to touch on these because they're displaying here, this is showing that there is a conflict because the service plan ends somewhere between the 27th and the 3rd. If I click on it, it's going to give me that information down here. It shows me that it expires on the 31st of March. So anything booked beyond that, being the 3rd and the 10th, is going to show as beyond the service plan. It still gives us the opportunity to book the visit, but just gives us that visual cue. So I'm going to click on OK, and then I can see my visits in there ongoing from 11 to 11:30 on Fridays as well.